Yo, so it's everyone's favorite mercenary of a Junkion, Detritus. I can't believe I just said that. Mercenary of a Junkion, as evident by Decepticon symbol right there and Autobot symbol right there. And yeah, just doing some research, I found out he's a mercenary, that he doesn't play well with the other kids in the sandbox, and that he has a thing for Rekar, that he's trying to take him out, that he's trying to build his own army and stuff. And I was like, whoa. And what I found interesting is like it has some like weird swindle vibes to me, you know. And then he's like a Jeep, and I was like, is this a Jeep thing? Then they're gonna be like, yo, that's profiling, and I'm like, oh my bad, dude. Anyway, yeah, like what? What's this guy talking about? But anyway, but it is weird, right? There's this weird swindle thing going on in my opinion, at least. I don't know. So basically, yeah, never mind. So this is really cool, yeah. And so, oh, by the way, so this is a tutorial for Detritus plus Scraphook and Crashbar. Man, I'm becoming like my mom, where there's like too many toys or too many kids, and you're just like and you're calling everybody by different things. So if I call somebody else by somebody else's name, yeah, my bad. Anyway, I'm thinking of all these like jokes right now for some reason. So I'm just kind of like stopping, and I'm like, well, that's a joke, and I'm like, should I share that? I'm like, no. But anyway, it's Detritus, and he's wearing basically Junkion armor. And on my journey to the office where I record my stuff, I live really close to the office. I somehow lost his little toe accessory. Upsetting. But what can I do right now? We're recording. And the cores are not being used, meaning like the core of the Crashbar body or the Scrapbook is not being used. And this is this kind of cool thing where like that's his little backpack part, but you can flip it forward, so he has like pew 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 pew, you know, over the shoulder smolder holders. So that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, I don't have the regular Hound with me, but I was wondering, does the regular Hound also have ports on his shins? Can he do this too? Because if so, I may try to rig something up with Hound as well, to be like, yo, two can play at this game, and that could be kind of cool, right? Side by side, we might do that. Excuse me as I unprofessionally sip my coffee as I'm recording this video. But I just think of it as like we're just talking, you know. Like if you were in front of me, of course I would still be sipping my coffee, and if you were in front of me, I wouldn't be like burping or like farting and stuff. And that's why those parts are cut out. See, makes perfect sense. But I don't fart while I record the videos. Maybe I have a couple times. I definitely have burped though. But okay. So I'm going to teach you how to make him today. I mean, he's really, really easy. So, by the way, one last thing. I love the colors on Detritus. When I look at the arms and this overall, it makes me think of a Whopper. It makes me think of Burger King. I don't know if the current packaging is like this, but the old school packaging, this is definitely some BK. What is it? No, McDonald's is I'm loving it. What's BK? Have It Your Way? I think that's it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the Wu-Tang album where it's like, have it your way. Is that 36 Chamber? No, that's from the Fugees, maybe. Yeah, it's Fugees album. Yeah. All right, so inside is Detritus, and this is just basically him with his knees bent, like he's praying or something, right? You can see that, right? That's not too difficult. I mean, here, you know what? Let's bring him into the shot. Put the Lazy Susan to the side. So yeah, just knees bent. And so if you stare at it too long, especially from the side, you're like, yeah, that's just him with his knees bent. But what's kind of cool about this though is as this stuff falls apart. I'll put this on later. What's kind of cool is that the tires back here, they rest up against this thing, so it doesn't look too crazy. You know what I mean? I love that. It just kind of like sits and tucks into the bay. So it just looks like it's one bit, you know. I was really, really excited when that like lined up, and super ecstatic about that. And this is a little bit loose, so I'll just have to adjust this later. But what's going on over here on the inside is that when you natively connect this to this right over here, there's too much gap. Yeah, it's just too far to the outside. And dude, I still haven't cut my nails. What am I doing? And that's why we're using the shin guards and we're using the exhaust to beef that up. And I think that helps out tremendously. Yeah. And then we have the little saddlebags on the outside, beefing up the calves. Then we got these back. So yeah, this is just on the bottom. I'm sorry. This is on the bottom. You can see these are just the Crashbar legs, right? And so I don't think I need to go into too much detail. They're just plugged in over here. And then on the inside, oh, look at that. That's awesome that we could just turn it like that. on the side. For him, for this side, you need to attach it to the wheel, and there's a little bit of asymmetry, and then the shin guard goes over here. And on this side over here, very similar. Plug right here, plug. So this doesn't go into the wheel as it does on this side. That's just because the port placement is slightly different, but that's totally fine. Yeah. Let me just adjust them. All right, like that. And on the top, the arms, you can see that these are just the shins of a Scraphook plugged into each shoulder, and then you can adjust that if necessary. Not necessarily on the arm, but there's the peg that's on the shin, the lower half, that can move around, and so you can play with that. And then on the front of that, you just, we're just plugging in the arm, right? And you can see how everything looks right there. And I messed around with having in different configurations, but ultimately I like this, and so we kept it like that. Yeah, but you can do whatever you like. Yeah. And so if you have like one Scraphook and Crashbar, this is really easy to pull off. You can do this with a lot of bots that have the ports on their knees, or are similar proportions like this with the Dino bots, or even Jazz, kind of. I have that orange Jazz, and I'm wondering if I should do something with the Junkions. Might. Oh, and back here, these are a little bit unique. So this part over here, by virtue of his transformation, he has these two pegs, right here and right here. And careful, this is a clear plastic piece. Then you're just taking the Crashbar arm and you're seating it on there. And like I said, when you're plugging this in, make sure you're supporting that window from the bottom, so you're not like adding all that pressure there. It's just a little bit of physics, if you understand. You don't want to stress this weak piece, so support it with your fingers. And then afterward, you just cascade them down, you bend them, and it's kind of cool because this area is pretty hollow, even with this. And so this does a pretty good job, in my opinion, of actually adding to some bulk, some needed bulk. And then it can transform into the over-the-shoulder pew-pews as well. I like that a lot. Oops, sorry about that. I like that a lot. So yeah, lots of great things to like about this toy. And so this is Mr. Detritus. You cannot defeat us. I always wanted to be the elitist. Whoa, take over Rekgar and become the leaders of the Junkion. When it's on at the dawn of Cybertron, I won't be used as a pawn. I'll make sure to rebuild myself and respawn. Oh, that was sick. That was off the top, too. That was tight. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.